Justin Bieber's trying to expose Hollywood, but nobody's listening. Check this
Has
out.
anybody seen Justin Bieber's Instagram? He posted shipping containers with a photo of a baby on a blanket underneath.
Isn't that weird?
Captioned, "I got anger issues too, but I want to grow and not react so much."
You know the name. You know the face. You know the journey from a Stratford kid with a guitar to a global superstar. Justin Bieber seemed to have it all. But what we saw was the highlight reel. For years, we watched the meltdowns, the arrests, the canceled tours, and we called it a downfall. We called it burnout. But what if it was something darker? What if Justin Bieber wasn't just cracking under the pressure of fame, but was actually fleeing from the predatory underbelly of the very industry that built him? He's been in this business since he was a child. He's seen things we can only imagine. And he knows better than anyone how to spot a toxic situation, how to recognize an evil person. Which is why, when he was faced with a business deal that connected him to a man shrouded in the mystery of not one, but two tragic deaths, he didn't hesitate. He walked away. This is the story of the darkness Justin Bieber saw, a darkness that almost consumed him, and the chilling reasons behind one of his most decisive business moves. So let's get into it. Now, let's get our disclaimers out of the way. This video is not a direct accusation against any single individual. I'm not claiming to have all the answers, and I'm certainly not making any definitive legal claims. What I am going to do is walk you through a series of documented events, public records, and reported facts that, when pieced together, paint a deeply disturbing picture of the world Justin was navigating. A world where powerful men operate with impunity and aspiring artists, particularly young women, can become collateral damage. Justin's story of survival is, tragically, not the only story. And it's the stories of those who were forgotten that we need to hear. The way I, and many others, first stumbled into this darker narrative was through that business deal. Back in year, Justin was set to enter a major partnership with his then-manager, Scooter Braun, his stylist Ryan Good, and a few others. One of those others was a music executive named David Blono. The deal was in full motion. Contracts were likely being drawn up. And then, suddenly, Justin pulled the plug. The reason? According to reports at the time, Justin had discovered that David Blono had been named in connection with a mysterious death. The death of an aspiring singer named Laura Lozano. Justin allegedly issued an ultimatum. The deal was off if David Blono remained involved. Scooter Braun reportedly defended Blono, but Justin stood his ground. He backed out. Now think about that. This was a multi-million-dollar deal. This was his inner circle. For Justin to make a move that drastic, based solely on someone's association with a tragedy, what did he know? What had he heard? What was the rumor mill in Hollywood telling him that the public hadn't yet grasped? This wasn't just Justin being difficult. This was a man who had been through the ringer, who had seen the dark side, putting up a boundary to protect himself. He saw a red flag, and he ran. And as we're about to see, he might have been running for his life, or at the very least, his sanity. So let's take a deep dive into the story that spooked Justin Bieber. Let's talk about Laura Lozano. In March 2023, a 34-year-old aspiring musician was found unresponsive in a bathtub at the exclusive Sea Hotel in Miami. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of death was, and still is, officially unconfirmed, though authorities suggested an overdose. But the details are what make you pause. The man she was last seen with was David Blono, a married music advisor who had worked with giants like Drake and Post Malone. He told police that Laura was a client, that he was helping her make music, and that he had arranged for her to have her own room in his hotel suite. Now, I've looked up the Sea Hotel, and while they have suites, the idea of a powerful music executive and his female client sharing a suite, even with separate rooms at a hotel like that, it raises questions. Here's the timeline that makes this so unsettling. Hotel security footage shows David Blono leaving the room at 4:30 a.m. Laura was found dead in that same room at approximately 1 p.m. that same day. Police believe the incident occurred between 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. So that's a window of only a few hours after he left. David Blono was questioned and very quickly cleared by Miami police. He released a statement calling it a terrible tragedy and said he wasn't there when she died. He seemed calm. Too calm, in my opinion. If I were in a hotel room with someone who died hours after I left, I'd be a mess. I'd have a million questions. He, on the other hand, told reporters, "I really don't want to go too deeply into it." How convenient. I went online to forums like Lipstick Alley, where people were asking the real questions. Why did he fail to notify the hotel he was checking out? Was it because he knew what they would find? The hotel only discovered Laura because they called him when the room was past checkout, and he was already gone. So they went up and found her. When police entered, they reported an unknown substance in various areas of the room. What was it? And what was the real nature of Laura and David's relationship? Because his wife, Stacy, a medical doctor, filed for divorce shortly after this incident. What did she find out? And remember that hotel? The Seatai Hotel? And that time, 4:30 a.m.? You need to remember that, because this is where the story gets truly chilling. This wasn't a one-off tragedy. Just 5 months later, in August 2023, another aspiring artist was found dead. Her name was Camilla Sterling. She was only 24 years old. And she was found... where else? The Seatai Hotel in Miami. The scene was described as harrowing. The room was filled with drugs, soiled bedding, and discarded condom wrappers. There was a substance identified as pink cocaine. Cushions were thrown everywhere, and photos from the evidence file show bloodied, pinkish tissues in the garbage can. And who was the last person seen with Camilla Sterling? Hotel security footage shows music executive David Blono leaving the hotel at, you guessed it, 4:30 in the morning. He told police again that Camilla was a client who was going to sign a record deal with him. But a Business Insider investigation found their relationship was much, much deeper. Camilla referred to David as her boyfriend in text messages and voice memos. He had paid her over $140,000 to rent a condo in Miami, and had even created a separate record label just for her. Friends of Camilla said it was an open secret she was dating a powerful man in the music industry. But in the months before her death, something changed. They had broken up. Bank records show the payments had stopped, even though she still had over $230,000 in her account. The night she died, a car picked her up and took her to the Seatai Hotel just after midnight. David Blono was there. He left at 4:30 a.m. Room service was ordered for one person at 8 a.m., but no one answered the door. When staff entered, they found Camilla's body. Her death was ruled an accident, a mix of ketamine, MDMA, and pink cocaine. But the similarities to Laura's case are staggering. The same man, the same hotel, the same departure time. Two young, aspiring female artists, both linked to the same powerful figure, both dead under mysterious circumstances in the same way. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. Now, when you have a pattern like this, you'd expect a media firestorm, right? But it never came. The Daily Mail was one of the only major outlets to report on both women. I found Reddit threads where users pointed out that suddenly, a lot of positive PR articles about David Blono's business acumen started popping up online, almost as if to push these grim stories down in the search results. If you know me, you know I'm nosy, so I tried to dig deeper. I found the recording studio in Miami where Camilla used to work, Bay 8 Recording. I reached out pretending to be a reporter working on a story about Camilla. I got a response almost immediately from someone named Jordan K. They said, "The owner of our studio spoke with you or your team last year. We don't have any information at this time. Good luck. Last year, I never contacted them last year. So who did? Who else is digging? I tried to get a name, playing dumb, saying our team had changed, but I never got a response. That's where the trail goes cold. It's like these women, Laura and Camilla, just disappeared. Their stories were buried, their voices were silenced. And that brings us back to Justin Bieber. Justin didn't have all the facts we have now. He didn't know about Camilla Sterling because she hadn't died yet. But he knew about Laura. He heard the whispers. He saw the same red flags we can now see so clearly in hindsight. His decision to walk away from that business deal wasn't just business. It was an act of self-preservation. It was a survivor's instinct kicking in. He saw the dark side of Hollywood, a side where powerful men can be linked to tragic accidents and face no consequences, where young dreams are exploited and then forgotten. That darkness almost destroyed him during his public struggles. But in this instance, his intuition, born from a lifetime in the belly of the beast, might have saved him. This story doesn't have a neat ending. David Blono has been cleared by police in both cases. Officially, nothing criminal happened. But we are left with a haunting paper trail and so many unanswered questions. What do you guys think? Is this all a tragic, unbelievable coincidence? Or is there a much darker story waiting to be told? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See if you can find any pieces of this puzzle that I missed